Okay, so the next stage will be to open the material editor. So press M to open the material editor. There you go. And you might have it like this, or you might have it like a little bit more like Maya with the slate editor. Whichever option you like is okay. I'm going to use a compact because it will be easier to see the attributes over here. Okay. The first thing I want to do is very much assign that material to all our selections over here. So let's see. Let's go on. Hold on, somebody has something selected there. Give me just one moment. Okay, if yeah, it was kind of stuck there for a moment. Sometimes the screen capture software locks things down for some reason and doesn't let me do some things on the viewport. But I get it. You just click on your geometry and assign material to selection. Okay, so with the material selected, assign material. This one here with the green little cube. So the next thing we're going to do is on the diffuse for that the material, we're going to map over here on the side a checker material, and it's right here, the checker, and say OK. And you're going to notice right here that it's already set up on the material. If you want to see it in the viewport, make sure you click here, show shaded material in viewport, so that it works out, so that you can see how it's working. As you can see, it is applied. However, we have some work to do with those UVs, and the first thing I want to do is work right here on the material editor window, and tiling, let's set it to 10. The idea is that we repeat those checkers, white and black checkers over the geometry, to see how how the placement of the texture will work out. Like it's you know, the smaller the squares, the better distribution you have, and you will be able to spot distortion. Like here, you see how these squares are turning into rectangles, kind of stretch. That means if I put a texture there, like a photographic texture, it's going to come out stretch, so it's not going to look right. Like a brick wall or wood or something like that I put there, it's going to look stretch out. There is some natural stretching that happens on the sphere, so just do your best to, you know, just pretty much have it, you know, in a decent look. I don't worry much about spheres, but because mostly I don't use spheres to model. I'm more of a box modeling kind of person. So if you do have some stretching, you can always get repeat the UVs a little bit more. You know, if you wanted to, let's see, 15 by 15, or you know, be careful with. I always suggest to keep the tiling the same, but you could create a new material for just a sphere, and kind of, you see how you start making one side a little bit more bigger than the other one, and you start seeing more squares over the geometry. So that is an option that you have. However, you know, be careful, because then you have this problem with the other geometry. So you might need to do it on this geometry, on this material, and apply that material to these two other guys. Okay, so let's actually do it so that you see it at work. Assign material, and then on this material, let's apply the checker map. And remember what we did, we showed material in viewport so that we can see it, and we repeat it 10 times even. That way, you know, it looks a little bit better. The box seems to work perfect. However, the cylinder needs a little bit work. So when we come back, we're gonna work a little bit more on the cylinder, and then we'll render the templates.